Hey, happy Super Bowl Sunday, everybody.
Hello.
Which I'm not even terribly excited about it, are
No,
you?
not at all.
Probably
Actually.
because Cowboys aren't in, but whatever.
Right,
Anyway,
and like a rival is in,
right.
which
And
we kind of have to.
yeah,
for.
and Carmen, who owns and runs Game Surplus, he is a monster, tried and true Philly fan. So thought, this is kind of a nice way to go about, I guess, supporting them, I guess is the way to put it. I guess. But
Kind of
anyway.
have to out of loyalty to a friend,
Right.
I suppose, and Bev too.
All right. Anyway, moving on.
As I said in Slack, it makes me feel a little
Oh,
nauseous.
yeah, way more than a little. Anyway, moving on. So hopefully y'all have had a good week. We had a weird one with yesterday with the live stream that wasn't
Yeah.
with Tokyo Metro. Unfortunately, and like we said in the statement we released, we set it up and you just couldn't see the components on the board,
You
on the
couldn't at
map.
all. You just couldn't.
And it was going to be impossible to follow, and I think it might have turned people off, even though when we're sitting here at the table looking kind of at a low angle view, but being able to see the whole board, it's a non-issue.
In
but
person, it's fantastic.
yeah,
But
so we thought instead of maybe turning people off of the game because of the limitations of the way we have the camera set up, we were like, yeah, I think it's the right decision.
Yeah.
So that's why that came about. All right. So that said, on to this week. So as we have said, we mentioned this in a podcast, and I think I did during the patron Ask the Elephant, that this month, February, is mostly going to be more podcast focused than it is live stream focused, for the simple fact that the live streams have been the focus for the better part of 2 months with the Advent and then the big stream, the couple weeks that we've had now.
Yep.
So we wanted to make sure that we're not giving short shrift to the podcast side of things. So keep that in mind when we talk about this week and subsequent weeks, because the podcast is going to get a ton of content the next couple months, partially because we're going to be on the road for some of that, and partially because, well, that's just a conscious decision on our part,
it is.
right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. All right, so here we go. So starting off on tomorrow, and if you guys haven't heard the big news, well, now you have. So tomorrow, I'm going to be hosting our first ever live stream over on caffeine.tv. So if you want details on that, I would say, well, yeah, we can do it real quick. So Caffeine, live streaming service, going to be taken on Twitch. They have asked us to come over there, and we're going to do so on a trial basis to see how it goes. So we're going to do a couple of game live streams each month, February, March, April, and see how it goes from there. Yeah.
That's
right. Right. And so the first stream that we're going to do, I thought, was kind of show folks what to expect for those that aren't familiar with what it is that we do. Because let's face it, most streaming is video games.
Yes.
I mean, there's a couple of us out there that
But the
live
vast
stream.
majority is, yeah.
Yeah, it's all PUBG, it's all, League of Legends, all that stuff, right? So I'm gonna host a Ask the Elephant tomorrow at 1100 Mountain Standard Time, which is 1800 UTC, 1900 CET. So we figure that's kind of a good time right in the middle of America, or the North America and Europe.
Yeah.
And figure, you know what? I will have a game set up. I'll show folks the different camera angles, everything that everybody on YouTube is used to, and just be like, okay, this is what's coming. And then we're going to start it the following week. But do an Ask the Elephant there. Little bit apprehensive about the Ask the Elephant, because this may come as a surprise to some of y'all, but I tend to give thorough answers. It's true.
What?
I know. So with that said, the chat on Caffeine, there's no lag. Like, whereas here we're watching on YouTube, the chat is about a 10-second delay. In Caffeine, it's instantaneous. But there's no chat log yet. It's still coming. So if I don't see your chat, like, it stays up for like 6-8 seconds. So what I'm going to ask people is, if you ask a question, wait till I'm done answering the previous question, then ask me another, because otherwise So anyway, it's going to be a learning experience for us, and hopefully you guys are willing to check it out. It should be a lot of fun. So, yeah.
Then yesterday we played Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective, me and Edward and Matt and Sweater Mike. After we took forever to solve our first case, we came up here and sat around, did a little round table of our first thoughts about it. And so we'll release that tomorrow on the podcast.
And not really a big spoiler, although it would be a spoiler in and of itself. What we're thinking about doing is one day next week, not this week, but next week, and we want your guys' feedback on this. So there are 10 cases in the new Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective, Jack the Ripper, and
West End Adventures.
Right. So there are 10 cases in there. We did case number 5, which is what's recommended to start, right? Go 5 through 10 in order, then do the Jack the Ripper
Correct,
cases,
'cause
which is 1 through 4.
Apparently it's a vastly different play style and may make you sour on the game if you start with the Jack the Ripper.
Right, because it's so different. So we did case number 5. What we're thinking about doing is live streaming case number 6 or 7 next week when we get back.
Yeah.
And now, obviously, it's going to have a ton of spoilers.
Well, yeah.
I mean, we're going to ruin that case. But what we were thinking was, we'll have the 4 of us up here. Like, we'll do it one evening, right? And then we'll have the Peanut Gallery be able to help us out.
Yeah, like y'all will be like the other players.
Yeah.
I think it'd be fun.
I think that would be a really, really fun thing to do.
I do too.
So that's what we're thinking about doing for one day next week, and that's why it's over there in the corner. But as Amanda said, the first look tomorrow night, giving the podcast some love as well. And I saw a question. Christopher asked, why are so many streams during the day? Random luck of the draw kind of type thing. It just so happened Tony was off work. If we do something during the on Wednesday, you're off work. Otherwise, they're in the evenings on normal. It comes and goes. There's no rhyme or reason. There's no specific reason for that.
I mean, if we do a whole bunch during this time, then some people complain that it's during the day, and then if we do them other times to where it's at night for America, then we get complaints that it's in the middle of the night for Europe. So we kind of have to.
Yeah, we're trying to mix it
balance.
up. Yeah, we're trying.
Yeah.
And so it's not a perfect science. It's, try as we go type thing. Okay. So far the early returns sound like sounds like a fun idea. So yeah, look for that next week. Anyway, so Monday, tomorrow, 11 o'clock Mountain Standard Time over on caffeine.tv. So here's how this is going to work. I'm going to send the link on social media, Facebook, Twitter, etc. If you don't want to create an account, which is stupid easy over there, you can just follow the link and watch.
Yeah.
And listen.
You don't have. I mean, it's just like YouTube. If you
want to watch, you don't have to log in. But if you want to chat, you have to
do.
make an account. So there's that. Okay. So that's going to be 1100 Mountain Standard Time tomorrow, and we've worked out the kinks today. But hey, it's our first time doing it, so we'll see how it goes tomorrow. It should be a lot of fun. All right, cool. So that is on Monday. Then on Tuesday, we have another podcast feature.
We're going to do our top 6 gateway to heavier games. So basically games that we feel like can be a bridge to getting into it.
Yeah, getting into the heavier side of the hobby. So now I'm nervous about this just because, Heavy Cardboard's doing this. And I'm like, and there's going to be tons of people. Well, what about this game? What about this game? It's 6 games or 12 between us. And I imagine there's going to be some overlap. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. All right. That should be fun. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So that's going to be on the podcast on Tuesday. Then on Wednesday, speaking of those daytime streams, we're going to play at 1000 Mountain Standard Time Iron Curtain.
Dun, dun, dun.
So designed by Oscar Granelut, who now is a full-time freelance designer, and his buddy, Daniel Peterson. We actually got this copy from Oscar. Well, both of them, they're one and the same, essentially. They work together, kind of like Nuno and Paulo, right? They gave us a copy of this at BGG Con. We told them, yeah, we'll definitely check it out. And think 13 days. We've done a live stream of it.
Yeah, 'cause
we've
it's the
done
same.
we've done kind of a trailer of it as well. It's
It was the same designers.
the same. It's the same.
Mechanics?
No, it's completely different. It's the same theme and it's the same concept. Completely different game, which really impressive that they could do that. To where it's tackling the same thing but in a completely different way. So yeah, hopefully you guys will enjoy that on Wednesday. A little 2-player grudge match for Amanda and I. Then on Thursday we have the episode. So what's the episode?
It's a top 50 of right now. Episode 99
Yep, the top 50 of all time
of right now.
of right now. That'll be fun.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to that. It should be a good time. And then there you go. There's an evening stream for you. So Thursday night at 1900 Mountain Standard Time, 0200 UTC, which is our, I feel like that's kind of our standard time.
That is our standard time, yeah,
right?
because it gives me like 10 minutes to relax after I get home before we have to start.
And enough
streaming.
time to hopefully, chow down some soup
Hopefully,
or whatever,
yeah.
and then get ready for the stream as long as I get all my ducks in a row.
Yes.
All right. So the Kickstarter is currently going on. It's going to be a 3-player live stream. The deck builder for trying to create have the most hip, most popular coffee house in Berlin. And considering the house in which I live here, coffee house, deck building, check.
Right.
All that makes sense.
Check,
So-
checkity, check.
Yeah. So that it was a no-brainer
Yeah.
to get this out there for a live stream. All right. Cool. All right. So Asher's waking up. Oh, hello, sir. All right. So that is on Thursday. All right. And then on Friday, nothing. And then on Saturday, nothing. And then on Sunday,
The weekly look ahead.
the weekly look ahead. So you might be asking yourself, why is there nothing going on? Oh, and what's this time with the weekly look ahead? 2000. That's awfully late. Normally we do it at 1400 our time. Well, the reason is we're going to be at the Arizona Game Fair Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And so we already have next week's schedule planned out. So the plan is to drop daily diaries Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday for the podcast, to follow up over on the YouTube channel. And then we have obviously more content coming, but that's why nothing this weekend.
Yes.
We're going to be gone playing games.
Yes, we will be in another state.
Yep. All right. So that's what we got this week. So hopefully you guys are excited. We're excited about it. Should be a really good time. You excited?
Yeah.
Cool. And I'm excited that everybody seems pretty stoked about the Sherlock Holmes idea.
Yes.
So because we thought about it, we're like, but we're ruining 10% of the game. But we're not ruining it because people can play along with.
They can play along with us, and also this is the second set of cases. They'll probably continue to come out with more.
I would imagine so. Yeah. And on top of that, we do have our mods ready just in case somebody wants to try and spoil something and just don't be that person.
I don't think our people would be that kind
I don't think so, but you never know. Cool. All right. So that's what we got this week, y'all. Hopefully you guys are excited about it. We're excited about it. And cool.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go finish up all our behind the scenes stuff.
Well.
All right. Cool. Y'all take care. Have a wonderful week, and we'll see you this week.
Bye.
Take care, everybody.